Okay, the trailhead did not come out where we expected. So now we're pretty much back to where we started. I'm going back to get the car. My wife is doing the best she can, but she's really winded. I'm pretty winded too, because we had to go up all those steps. And we're kind of in a hurry because we don't want to miss our tour. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the car really fast, and then I'm gonna go pick her up. Hopefully we'll make it. Okay, I had to switch cameras. My cell phone is dead. This camera is not as good as my cell phone, but it's what I got to work with for the rest of the day. I made it to my car, and I gotta go pick up my wife.
Hey!
Hello, honey.
Hey, sweetheart.
I gotcha.
Yay!
Hopefully we'll make it.
Oh, we'll make it, dear. Oh, yeah.
We are cutting it close. Cutting it close. All right. This is the visitor center. I'm thinking we're going to make it. Where do we go? We were definitely cutting it really close, but I got the tickets. So we're ready to go. We just have to be out there by the bus pickup 5 minutes before 2, 1:55. So we have a handful of minutes. My wife is finishing up in the car, and she's going to meet me here in the visitor center. And actually, that's her right over there. And we're all set to go. We're going to go on the cave tour. Okay, I'm not too sure how this is going to show up, but we're going to take a little break here before we have to get on the bus. And you know, another thing about the park is there's other things to do here inside the visitor center. They have a little thing you can walk through. It's like a little museum to teach you about history and about this area, and a lot of things you can learn here. So it's well worthwhile to go through and immerse yourself in these things and learn these things. So if you have an interest in history at all, this is a good place to visit. So we're going to head out so we don't miss our bus for the cave tour. And you know, there's a lot of people that are here, and this is a Monday. So it gets really busy even through the weekdays out here at the park. So you want to make sure that whenever you come out here, that if you have a cave tour, you should make reservations. Don't take it for granted that it's during the week and you think, well, it's not going to be as busy and there's always going to be spots. Don't take that for granted, because there's people that come out here every day of the week. So you want to make sure you get your reservations ahead of time. And that's what I did. I got my reservations ahead of time to make sure that we had our tickets, and we're going to be able to make it. So we're going to go out to the shelter and wait for the bus. There we are to shelter B. This is where we need to be, and we will be ready for our tour. We made it. Our bus is here. Sometimes.
Good afternoon, Mammoth Cave visitors. This is the first call for.
You know, sometimes whenever you're in a hurry, you're thinking that, oh, I got an appointment, I got to try to make it. And you can either take it seriously and actually make your appointment, even if you get there a few minutes earlier. That's better than missing it. But you know, sometimes you could say, well, you know, I got all the time in the world. You know, you don't have to be in a hurry. We have all the time in the world to get there. And usually it's whenever you do that is whenever you miss your appointment. So we wanted to make sure we took it seriously, and yeah, we got here about 10 or 15 minutes before we had to be, but still, that was cutting it close. So I'm glad that we hustled. I'm glad that we hurried up and did all the work to get here, because now we're here, the bus is here, and we're about to go on our tour. And also the same thing could be true about your faith, you know, because you're kind of like running a race, right, in your faith. And you could take the attitude of, oh, you know, it's not that important, it's not that serious, you know, and that's the kind of attitude that's going to cause you to miss it, you know. But if you take it seriously, and the Bible says to be diligent, you know, God's a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. So if you're diligent and you want to make sure you don't miss it, then you can make it to the finish line.
If you're a slow walker, I want you to get either in the first bus or get up to the front of the crowd when I make my safety and my resource announcement when we get to the new entrance, because I will set the pace. If you're at the back and somebody is lagging, everybody else is rushing to get up front and get a sit down, get a good seat. We have 2 places where we'll sit down and we'll talk about the cave, and then we'll move on. We have a long place to go in a short time to get there. 2 hours is not a lot of time.
Okay, now we're going to get a seat on the bus. This looks like a really nice bus to get on. And then we're going to go to the mouth of the cave. We're here. We're about to get off the bus. I'm not going to be able to do much video because they told us not to do that. So I'll do the best I can, but you're not going to see much.
We had function in there, we had education, we had science, but here we have tourism. Yeah, this cave was discovered during the 1920s when they had cave wars. And so George Morrison, who's discovered this cave, had a hotel at the corner. Yes, sir, the Morrison Hotel, not the one in your dreams. But these are sinkholes, and he was sitting out here and saw some kids. They were like playing out here in the summer where it's cold, and he realized, yeah, that's where caves are. And so he was an oil man from Ohio, and he took dynamite, one of his favorite tools, and he blew up a hole in the sinkhole, and he found an entrance, and he told his nephew in there to go check it out. Earl came from the World War I, put a rope on him and said, let's look for some cave. It took him 2 weeks to get down to the point where we are going to go. That'll take us 12 minutes. So I want you to enjoy that. Yeah, they discovered this cave by blasting the entrance just off where we went, and that staircase used to be wooden. Well, they rappelled down and they visited the cave out here. So George Morrison's nephew was Earl, and Earl had 2 friends, Carl and another Earl. And they went through this area and they found the snowball room because George was a surveyor and he knew that the cave had matched the estate of Mammoth Cave. But they said, you can't use Mammoth Cave as an entrance. He says, well, I found the new entrance, and they took him to court. And so he had some people go from the historic entrance. He didn't know them. They got to the snowball room and Marion Avenue. Now, the people that came from private caves sold some of that area to the railroad. So there are 3 owners in this little corner: Mammoth Cave, George Morrison, and the railroad. So he went to these people and says, you came in that entrance, I have a new exit. And so he had them come here, write an affidavit, take it to the court. He could use new entrance to Mammoth Cave. What did he have? He had railroads coming up here. It was 1920s. They had cars coming up here on dirt roads, not really good roads. They still had stagecoaches that he could take from his hotel at the corner to the entrance that we had, and also to the frozen Niagara. What he developed was a brilliant scheme. He was a great caver. He had other people do his work. He had a tear in his eye. Well, he had an opportunity that nobody else took against Mammoth Cave. Not fighting, but the opportunity. And he had $1 in the back of his mind, yeah. So he had these things. He had a connection to Mammoth Cave to use the name. He had a new entrance that came down here for about a year and went all these other places, so he made a good touring business. He said his nephew, Earl, in 1922, oh, we got these cigars and the smoke is going up that way and all the lantern smoke is going, goes, hey, Earl, there's more cave over here. Check it out. So he put the rope on Earl. They went up, big break. They found the next couple of areas that we're going to see today. It's all horizontal cave compared to vertical cave. So what he did in 1922 is he got another part of the tour, but they had to go out his entrance as well. They could get another, connection, and maybe they could go out the railroad's exit rather than Mammoth Cave. They were a little more stiff to them coming in and stealing their cave and that. But there was negotiation between these owners. He got to a point in 1924 where he had the frozen Niagara. He found this 70-foot flow stone that was made out of limestone that was dissolved again by water, carbonic acid, and it started to flow on the old limestone that was
until I eat it, and then I won't be. Parasite.
It's got some nice non-skid surface so you can walk on.
Oh, it does look a little crumbly.
I can do this.
Oh, my ankle. A big black hole right there.
I don't know, it looks pretty low.
I'm going to have to duck.
I think I got it.
How tall are you? I'm 5'3", and I have to duck.
Yeah, but I don't know. No, I think I got it. Yeah. Burn that.
What's your heads again? guess with this roughness, makes it easier to hold your ground. Go down. Oh wow. This is lovely. Oh, it feels cold.
This is called geothermal. You get so far down into the earth, and it has a constant 60 degrees year round. It's the same temperature down here.
It's lovely.
During the winter, it's the same temperature as now, and during the summer, it's the same temperature year round.
It's lovely.
Geothermal.
Then, when we get to the frozen Niagara, we're probably 130, 110 feet underground. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Oh, that's that, or that. This here, that's the fairy castle. That's why they call this fairy castle room. Fairy castle ceiling. Good eyes. Absolutely. Yeah. George Morrison's little niece came in here when he gave her a tour, and she goes, "Hey, Uncle George, that looks like a fairy castle." And he's like, "Well, that's pretty cool." Well, we've elaborated that a little bit of the story, as you can probably imagine what's coming up. Yeah, that's the fairy castle, all right. Mm-hmm. And there's a little fairies walking to the fairy castle for their dinner, right? And then, there's the in-laws, Yeah, of course. And they take I-65 over to Mammoth Dome in frozen Niagara. Yeah, so that's right.
There is the light at the end of the tunnel, as they say.
Slippery again.
And now we're coming out to the exit. Nice little revolving door for our exit. All right. And now we're outside. My glasses are actually frosted up because it's so cool underground, and then it's so kind of a little hot and humid up above ground that it caused my glasses to frost up. So that's funny.
Yeah, we're waiting for our okay. No, I'm just asking.
So that was the end of the tour. I really enjoyed it. It's very, very good tour to take. I highly recommend it. Okay, we're getting ready to walk through here and decontaminate our feet. Get our feet decontaminated.
So that it doesn't contaminate other fats.
Right. That's what we're doing here. All right. Soap and water on the feet. We are decontaminated.
Let's go over here.
After a grim struggle for century, They emerged in Mammoth Cave at 1 in the morning.
Oh.
Not even a watchman was there to greet them as they trudged into one of the most famous tourist landmarks.
The bats.
This is like the little museum area. Gives you like background information. Shows pictures from some caves that they've got. Some historical photos.
I'm sure those are caves that aren't open to the public right now. What time is your turn?
Got a little charge on the phone, and we're done with the cave tours for today, and now we're at a Japanese steakhouse to have a nice little dinner.